Hi, this is Mary McCauley with Keller Williams, and I'm here with Laura Greer Cowen from the establishment. Hi, Laura. How are you?
Hi, Mary. I'm well. How are you, hon?
Good. So, why don't you
Excellent.
tell everyone a little bit about yourself and about the establishment?
Great. I would love to. Thank you for asking. Yeah. I have a technology background. Just a tiny bit about me. I actually was working at Microsoft when I left there for various reasons. It was a great company, but left there, and my brother, sister, and I got together with our spouses and said we want to open a restaurant. My brother and sister had been in the business for 15, 20 years, in there somewhere, and the restaurants had closed for various reasons, land getting bought, all that. Anyway, we wanted to do it as a family. So we came together and found out that the building that is now the establishment was being sold. The restaurant itself was being sold. And so we took a drive up there. We're actually from my husband and I, as well as my brother and his family, are from Saugus.
Oh,
My sister at the time was actually from Peabody. And so it was not very close, but we're like, let's go take a look. The broker was like, it's beautiful. Anyway, we went in and we sat at the round table in the establishment, or in April's European at the time, and
right.
fell in love with the building. I mean, Chris was right. It's beautiful. It still is. And so we went back another time. My brother was in touch with Mr. April, who was selling. It took us like 6 months really to come to the final decision. Is it too far away? Do we really want something this big? Um, so here we are about 2.5 years later now. So the establishment is in the old mill building in North Chelmsford, 75 Princeton Street. And that's my husband, Paul. He's the other owner.
Hi, Paul.
And it seats like 200 people. We have two function rooms. It's beautiful. We've done some work to it. We added TVs. Um, so to get people want to call it a pub. We try not to call it a pub, but it's a beautiful restaurant. But it also has a great bar. You can really watch a game from anywhere in the building. And for those few people who have told us they don't like the TVs, we can turn it off for you. So we try to accommodate, because our real priority was making it a restaurant first. We wanted the food to be great, we wanted the service to be awesome, and we really wanted it to be a place that families want to come back to. We're family owned, so we wanted to make it that family environment.
Well, it's funny that you say all that. I'm a big fan, and my boyfriend and I come there a lot, and he's missing the best burger around from
The
you
burgers
guys.
are
So
good.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the steak tips, but
Yep. Yep.
we've done a lot of celebratory meals from graduation, from high school parties and stuff at your restaurant. So, and I like to sit at the bar and watch the TVs, and so I like that it's a restaurant, and it does have a nice bar
It
for
does.
people that like that. So I can
Yeah.
see why people want to say pub,
Sure.
but really a restaurant, because the food is really good.
Thank you. I'm glad you feel that way. We work very hard at that, and we continue to get better and add things, and so yeah, we have a great staff for that. Yeah.
So let me ask you, how is it going during this pandemic?
It's a challenge, but not as good as when we're open, obviously, with a restaurant that big, and the atmosphere is part of why people love the charm and coming in, as well as the food. But better than we had hoped. So it's somewhere in between. We've learned a lot about doing takeout, about working with, you hear a lot of mixed feedback about things like DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats. They charge a lot of commission and all that.
Mhm.
But what people don't talk about is they do provide a service, because I feel like, um, you know, if we were to do our own delivery, that does come with other responsibilities, right? Drivers and insurance and all that stuff. So there is that side of them. So what I've learned a lot about is building menus online. um, Very time consuming, but obviously very worth it. I have learned that building a menu takes time, just in what are you going to serve. We're not serving everything we would serve in-house, just because of
Mhm.
certain things don't travel well, and stuff like that. So working with my brother on all of that stuff. But I would say the biggest thing I'm learning is people are wonderful, and I'm so happy to say that the town of Chelmsford, folks like yourself, Mary, have really supported us, and I know other local restaurants, which I'm glad. We want everyone to do well, in the community. People have just been super supportive, whether it's ordering takeout or sharing our Facebook posts, just trying to be involved as much as they can from a distance. Um, we were always very good as far as health and safety wise. Working very closely with the town and the Board of Health in Chelmsford to do everything the right way. And but we've learned a lot, even added safety precautions, using all the required PPE during the pandemic, and making sure our staff is safe, making sure our customers are safe. No one has to walk through the door if they do decide to pick up. We bring it out to them. So we implemented a lot of that right away. And we had a little bit of takeout even before this, but we were never really a big takeout place because we didn't have delivery and stuff. Um, and so this has been a really good learning experience for us. And I'm hopeful, and I think what will be true is we'll open our doors someday, hopefully sooner than later, and but still have a very good takeout business.
Yeah. So what do you think that will look like when you do open your doors?
I don't know exactly, but my own thoughts and talking to my brother, like I said, as you know, Marriott is a huge place. It's very big. So my thoughts are a couple things. I think and maybe even hope that what the government decides is that we have to start when we open our doors, we have to start by doing reservations only. You have to have a reservation to walk in the door.
Okay.
I don't know about the mask thing. Maybe you have to have a mask to walk in the door. I don't know, but and then you can take it off while you eat. The other thing that we've talked about in our own restaurant is removing tables, and then that way, we have I don't know about four booths on each side or so, maybe 5 and 5 or something. But anyway, have a booth, remove a booth, have a booth, so that we are blessed because we are so big that we can take things out. We can make more space so that we're only seating families, more than 6 feet apart. Even at the bar, you mentioned we have the big bar and the really nice bar. Maybe it's 2 or 3 stools and then 6 feet and then 2 or 3 stools so a family can sit at the bar together, but that there's enough separation in between. So those are some of the things we've thought about. It remains to be seen what the government decides. We're hoping that May 18th is okay. Places can start to open with these guidelines in place. And we've even talked, for us, once we get that word, it might be another week. We'll do we've been cleaning obviously all along, but do a really deep cleaning of the dining room. I mean, the kitchen's constantly being cleaned because it's open. And then, move some furniture and things to, go along with the.
And will you do like plexiglass for the bartenders or,
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah. Yeah, we haven't quite gotten that far, but yeah, we would have to implement something. Either they have to wear a shield, just because, putting plexiglass, like the space between the bartenders and the people sitting at the bar is not very great. You're right. So yeah, that's a great question. We'll have to figure out how we did that.
And what about the restrooms, right? So
yeah, so I would say, yeah, like maybe we have the hostess, lets one person in at a time. We'd have to monitor who's in there and let one person in at a time. Most 2, but probably 1 because it is an enclosed space. So it's interesting. My husband and I happened to talk to a neighbor of ours who is part of the safety board, and he was saying they really haven't gotten quite that far, but he was saying same things, like restrictions on how many people are in there, who's the bathroom didn't really come up, but I think that's a great question.
No, it's just funny because as a patron, you think about when you go and now how is it really going to be restricted, and how do you don't think about those things that you took for granted, like a public restroom that had plenty of stalls and plenty of room. I never have had to wait there or anything. So, you wonder, as the consumer, what's the regular dining experience going to morph into?
Yes, and yeah, remains to be seen. But we have, like I said, we have thought of some things, but certainly not everything. And we have a somewhat open kitchen. So do we, kind of end where people can walk to even, and not that people are super like walking towards the kitchen all the time, but it is open. So some people want to walk up and see what's going on back there. It's not too common, but we may have to just restrict that completely as well. And then we also do Keno. So what does that mean for the lottery, right? Like
Right.
Keno's super popular.
Yep.
All that money changing hands. The Keno person would certainly have to be masked and gloved to deal with all of that money exchanging hands if that even opens. I don't, we maybe wait on even opening that, but
Mm.
I know our Keno folks would not like that, but
Right.
um, so yeah, we do have a lot to think about when the go ahead comes. Like I just mentioned, we feel like it's at least another week or so for us to
Hmm.
put all of those things in, whatever all of those things are, put them in place.
Right. So they'll give you guidelines, and it's several phases, right? So
I would assume so. I can't imagine they're just going to say, okay, everyone go ahead and open. Like, it's just not going to be that way. And even on the news today, even you know, just getting people to be able to be together, they were talking about everyone still having to have masks on for at least the
mhm,
foreseeable future. As one doctor mentioned, you have this pandemic, but then you will also have quote unquote flu season, winter coming up. And
right.
so who knows what our new normal is going to be. It still remains to be seen for sure.
Yeah. So Laura, what can people do to support the establishment?
So it's interesting you ask. I actually posted a little something on Facebook about this, and not just the establishment, but any local business, local restaurant specifically. So continue to get takeout is kind of the obvious answer. Maybe add a gift card to your takeout order, and then you're gonna spend it on yourself maybe when you come back, or when the doors do open, you'll have a little bit extra to spend that you already used that money on.
Yeah.
Um, the other thing I posted a link to letting the state reps know how you feel about your restaurants, and what they might do to help get them open sooner, with some guidelines in place, of course. And then just like I kind of said, share social media, share your positive experiences that you've had with the takeout service, with your servers. And I guess, as much as they're servers, but the takeout folks that we are um, keeping employed, make sure you're tipping them. I know you don't typically tip takeout like you normally would an actual experience in a restaurant, but they're relying on it to get by right now. So
Okay. So where is the best place on social media or your website to find the most up to date information?
Facebook's probably the best. If you're not a Facebooker, though, I've been working hard to keep the website up to date. The website is EAT establishment.com. So you can definitely find those updated menus, any specials. Today is Cinco de Mayo and Taco Tuesday, so we do have a special going on today.
Yay.
Yes, so if you're in the mood for something little Mexican flair to it, you can check that out. And then if you don't want to drive out, if you're still self quarantining for safety reasons, DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats are all doing delivery for the establishment as well.
Okay. Well, great. Thank you so much, Laura, for your time today. And everyone, order some food from the establishment.
Yes, please. And thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Mary.
you.
It's been a pleasure. Have a great day.
You too.